Hey family, how are you doing? How's everybody? We are just checking in at halftime. I wanted to see how I wanted to find out what your thoughts are so far on this game. Listen, we are pretty much firing on all cylinders. I couldn't be happy. Well, yes, I could be happier. There are a couple of things, and so this is just a quick halftime check-in. Um, a couple of things that I've noticed on with our team so far. One thing I want to be careful and pay close attention to. Whatever adjustments are made by the Bills at halftime, I want us to be ready for them. Anticipate the adjustments because they look completely sloppy, discombobulated. They just don't look like themselves, the Bills as a team. And I'm sure the message in that locker room is going to be adjustments, adjustments, adjustments. So, because of that, I want to make sure that we are prepared to handle whatever adjustments they make and counter them. Number two, second thing, I want to see Lamar Jackson run less. I do not want to see him running so much. I appreciate Lamar for his desire to, make a play, extend a play. I get that, but I don't want to see him in the second half running as much as he has so far. And another thing, the play calling by Todd Monken has been amazing so far. I am thrilled watching this team actually start to take shape and come together and gel as an offensive unit. It's really, really good to see. Now, here's the not so good. Harbaugh with the dumb stuff, with the craziness. What are you doing? First, let me back up. So before we get to the Harbaugh mess, right before that, we noticed that there was, and I have my notes here, so I'm going to be going through them. So we noticed that Lamar Jackson, here again, he was running and he fumbles the ball. That to me, I was like, oh, I don't want to take the wind out of our sail. I don't want to lose the momentum because for me, it was like, if we could have gotten into the end zone at that point, because we were at that time, we were already up 21-3. If we could have just not had that fumble, kept driving down the field and got into the end zone, scored another touchdown, I really think we would have like sealed the game all but. I mean, I know it's early, it's only the second quarter. There's plenty of game to be played. There's more football left. But being up that type of comfortable lead, I would have been able to rest just a little bit, not a lot, because no lead is safe. But after that, right after the fumble, Harbaugh makes a challenge, takes a timeout, and he could not take a timeout because he had just taken one or one had just been charged to us. So we ended up giving them, we gave them momentum because of Harbaugh. That's kind of how I see it. We just really gave the Bills momentum. And I was worried. I said, oh gosh, no. I hope that the Bills do not capitalize on this opportunity and come back and score a touchdown leading us into the half. They would have had the momentum. Then the score would have been 21-10. But, but excellent coverage by our secondary, Brandon Stevens, with Keon Coleman, great. I'm very pleased with that. So we got to keep it up. So my message at halftime is keep doing what you're doing, but be ready to make any adjustments as I believe their team is going to make some adjustments as well. This game is showing me thus far, and again, it's only halftime. Oh gosh, I see you guys. I see you, Hendo from the Rogue Pod, the Hawk TV, Joey, Rave Kingdom is in here, and I see Jared Green. Thank you all so much for coming by. What I can see, what this game is showing me, there were so many people who, and I'm going to call them all out, the ones that were talking real spicy about the Baltimore Ravens being bums and we were 0-3 and I'm sorry, we were 0-2 and we were going, and we just barely made it in. We barely, edged out a win last week against the Cowboys. We're really not a good team. I'm calling them all of them out tomorrow. I'm not going to do it tonight because we need to see the final score at the end. I see you, B Squared. Thanks for joining. But I just want to make note of this game, at least at the halftime. What it's showing me is For those who counted the Baltimore Ravens out, because we did get off to a very sloppy, slow start this season, for those who counted the Ravens out, you might want to check that. I don't ever count us out so long as we have Lamar Jackson. That's how I feel about our team. Yes. Do we have issues? Of course we do. And we've talked about the issues, but for purposes of tonight, I just really want to focus on the good that I've seen so far. And let's hope that we continue to keep our foot on the gas. The message was clear all last week from Lamar that just because we get a lead doesn't mean we just go conservative and we just, kick back and relax. We don't do that. We have to keep going, because at any minute they can turn the opposing team, whoever it is, and today it happens to be the Bills. At any moment they can turn turn it up a notch. And like we saw last week with the Cowboys, who tried to make that late game comeback, we were able to barely hold on to the win. So I want to make sure that we do not let up, make sure we keep going, and we stick true to what's been working for us. Because, let me know in the chat real quick, what were your immediate thoughts when you saw Derrick Henry? First play, opening drive, touchdown, Derrick Henry. What was it, 87 yards? 87 yards. What was your initial thought? I just said, okay, good night. Let's go home. Game over. But I didn't want to get beside myself. But I see you, Tim Hughes. Thanks for joining. Thank you for being here. Rogue Pod says, I want Lamar out in the fourth quarter. Me too. And that would be great if we can maintain the momentum. We need Harbaugh to relax with the dumb stuff. We also are still raking in the penalties. We need to stop doing that too. At first, we were doing pretty good. The Bills were collecting penalties and we weren't. And then all of a sudden, within the last few minutes of the second quarter, we just started collecting them again. So that needs to stop, obviously. But going back to my question, everybody is saying, I hear in the chat, big run by Derrick Henry. We were kicking butt tonight. Yes, people were calling Derrick Henry old, calling him washed, calling him, the grandfather. I've heard all kinds of names and memes about Derrick Henry. But what is he doing tonight? Same thing about Lamar. Oh, Lamar can't throw the deep ball. Take away the run, force Lamar to throw, and you're going to see him being one-dimensional, and he's going to fall. He's going to fail. Did you see that pass to Nelson Agholor? So, let me say this too. Mark Andrews, you got to make that catch. We love you, Mark, but you have to make that catch. That was a beautiful catch, and Mark Andrews just could not reel it in. That was tough to watch. But otherwise, for this game so far, I'm just feeling really hopeful and optimistic because I want to silence the critics. All of those who counted the Baltimore Ravens out as being, the underdogs going into this game. We're not going to win. The Buffalo Bills are legit. They're 3-0. The Ravens were 1-2. How do we stack up against them? So I'm looking at the chat real quick. He said defense is showing up. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Agro Valley Farm, Yolanda, let's hope Harbs doesn't make the dumb decision. I know. Lil Joker, congrats to the Vikings today. Yes, thank you for being here. Yeah. Hendo, what do you mean, do we though? Do we believe in, I think it was that comment in response to Mark Andrews, my sentiments on Mark. We need him. We need him. But shout out to the offensive line. Shout out to the offensive line. I personally would have still preferred to see Ben Cleveland, but we have Daniel Falele and he's standing his ground. He's holding his own. He's been upright for the times that I've seen him. Now, watch it on, replay or watch film, and it might tell me something totally different. But so far, very pleased with the blocking from this offensive line. Very pleased. Justice Hill is coming in. I'm loving the versatility. I'm loving the creativity that our team is using so far. And yes, I'm keeping my eye on the TV because this stream is going to end as soon as I see our players take the field. But I just really wanted to, talk to you guys and hear from you. So I'm going to read some comments and let me know how you're feeling so far about the first half of the game. Any concerns, anything that you want to see different, or, just Let me know your thoughts overall. Joey, defense, I said this earlier. Yes, defense is definitely showing up this game. Very pleased with Roquan Smith. He's coming back into his form. Still not as fast as he was, I don't think, last year, but that one tackle, man, oh gosh, I mean, he just came for him. And I said, yes. Tim Hughes, thank you, Yolanda. I don't know what's up with Mark, but that was a sad moment. It was just not, it wasn't something that obviously none of us are going to be happy because that was a beautiful pass. So it wasn't anything that was wrong with the pass to Mark. It was it was right on the money, right on the target. And we just need him to, we just need him to be able to make those catches. Jay the Six, thank you for being here. Mark is a blocking tight end. That's a good thing. I'll ponder and I'll read some stats, Jay the Six, but you might be right. You might be onto something. I hope not. I hope he can still be productive because he and Lamar have always had that connection, that chemistry, and Mr. Reliable for the most part in terms of how Lamar has viewed him as a weapon. So Tim Hughes, now Roquan and the Hyenas pack need to hunt. That's right. Don't let up. I'm really happy seeing Kyle Hamilton out there and flying around, making tackles, slowing down Kincaid. That was one of the big things we talked about in Thursday's live stream. We have got to have our defense ready to slow down because I never said stop. I think Josh Allen and his team, they're very good. I'm not going to discount them. I know people call, oh, look at the bums, and I get all that. But you don't go 3-0 and just, by happenstance. I know the first game against Arizona was, came down to the wire. I get it. And then they played the Dolphins, and obviously the Dolphins lost their quarterback during that game for, injury reserve. And then last week against the Jaguars, I get all of that, but I still think that they are a good team. I think they're finding out that they're not as good as they thought. That's what I'm getting from this game. So that's my little takeaway. Quickly, let me know in the chat, because I know halftime will probably be over in the next couple of minutes. Let me know, what are some things that you want to see going into the second half? Give me one or two things that you want to see our Ravens do, offense, defense. What do you want to see second half? I already said mine. I don't want to see Lamar Jackson run as much. I want us to continue to spread the ball around, continue to get all of our offensive pieces involved in the game. Justice Hill has been contributing. Derrick Henry, obviously. We've seen Zay Flowers. We've seen Nelson Aguilar. So we're utilizing our weapons. We would have seen Mark Andrews had he made the catch. We could have added his name. Isaiah Likely, another one. So this is the kind of momentum. This is the kind of thing, right, that I'm looking for as we go into the second half of the game. We don't need to give up. We don't need to let up, and we don't need to give them any reason to feel that they can have some life or some resurgence of energy. We don't want to do that. Joey said Hill is coming up big. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. But the Ravens have always believed in Justice Hill. And I even had some kind of thoughts like, why are we keeping Justice Hill? But he is a complementary piece in terms of his burst of speed. He's an excellent complementary piece to Derrick Henry, because Derrick Henry, while I don't think he has as much speed or burst as Justice, you get Derrick Henry going. You get him past that first level, and it's hard to bring him down. It's very tough to tackle him. He's just that massive. So be the change you wish to see. He said he wants to see more play action, Henry, and be creative. Exactly. Play action works for us because of Derrick Henry. When you start using play action and not just using Zay for bubble screens to Zay, we've seen that a lot. But when you start really honing in on play action, the defense doesn't know where which direction you're coming from. They don't know if Lamar is going to keep it, he's going to pass it. They don't know. And because we have Derrick Henry paired up with Lamar Jackson, that is a dynamic combination. So yes, I absolutely agree with you. Rave Kingdom. Let me see. Oh, he's responding to the Road Pod. I see you, Big Reg. Justice. Isn't he doing fabulous so far? It's just been refreshing to see. Danity, thank you so much. Yeah, halftime stream. I just wanted to come in and chat with you guys. Let me know, Danity, what do you want to see going into the second half? Oh, and speaking of the second half, see, you guys got me talking. I was only supposed to be here for a few minutes. Ladies, gentlemen, the game is back on, and I got to get back to taking notes because we have to have our post-game show tomorrow night. So thank you all so much. Take care. I'll see you really soon. Go Ravens, let's go. Yes. See you soon.